Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. This quadrant will be useful to plan your financial life. Robert Kiyosaki tells us that anyone who earns money will fall into one of these four quadrants. The letters represent the following: E for the employee, S for the self-employed, B for business owner, and I for investor. Most people depend on their paycheck, their salary. Therefore, they are found as employees and self-employed, while the others are found as business owners and investors. They are the people who receive the money from their businesses and the investments they make. Each quadrant is a person with a different mindset and different benefits. Therefore, we have to look at which one we are going to leverage from. This video is for people who want to change quadrants, especially for employees and self-employed people. The following are generalities that separate people in one quadrant from those in another. Let's start with quadrant E, which stands for employee. An employee can be a company president or a janitor. Therefore, as long as they are under orders from a boss and have a schedule, they can be easily identified. A person in this quadrant may be saying, "I am looking for a secure job, good pay and excellent benefits." The word secure is often used in response to the emotion of fear. The word benefit means that people would also like some additional reward to be expressed. But Robert says this is the most unstable and insecure quadrant today. Uncertainty in this quadrant does not make them happy. Therefore, for them, the idea of security is often more important than money. The paradigm in this quadrant is tattooed like a hot iron on most people, as their parents often tell them, "Go to school, get good grades, and get a secure job with lots of benefits." The next quadrant is S, or self-employed. Here are the people who own a job, and who want to be their own boss, or who like to do their own thing when it comes to money. And they don't like their income to depend on other people. Therefore, they seek independence. The mindset of someone in this quadrant is, why do it with someone else if I can do it better than everyone else? Simply put, if they work hard, they expect to get paid for it, and they are aware that if they don't work, there will be no income. Therefore, their key is to work very hard and be perfectionists. In this group are the well-educated professionals, such as lawyers, accountants, doctors, or either as direct commission salesmen and as owners of stores, dry cleaners, restaurants, workshops, etc. They have a sense of perfection, and that is why owners of large companies hire them. In this quadrant, it's all up to them. In fact, Robert calls it the heart attack quadrant, because everything depends on you. For example, a doctor spends years in college, and when he leaves, he sets up a medical clinic, believing he owns a business. If you, as a client, have some pain and go to see him, he helps you. You pay him and the process repeats itself. Therefore, if the doctor gets sick or goes on vacation, so does his income. And for self-employed people to evolve, they need to turn who they are into a system, and most are not trained to do that. Simply put, people in this quadrant own a job, always pays fixed expenses first, and pay themselves last. 95% of the population is programmed to live in this quadrant. A person in this quadrant may be saying, "My rate is $35 an hour," or they can't find people who want to work and do things right. Or also, "I have worked more than 50 hours on this project." The next quadrant is D, or business owner with a system. This is where the real business owners are. Here are the people who have a system and other people work for them. These could be the complete opposite of the self-employed quadrant, as they like to surround themselves with smart people from all four quadrants. And they like teamwork and leadership. The mindset of a business owner is, why do it myself when I can hire someone who can do it better than me? Unlike those in quadrant A, they can walk away from their business for more than a year, and when they return, find that their business is more profitable and better run. A person operating in quadrant B, or business owner, might say, "I am looking for a new president to run my company." Or he might say, "I'm looking for a system or a network to leverage." Robert's rich father said, "If you really want to be rich, learn to build businesses." There are three different sources of business. It's either a new business in the traditional way, which takes a long time to see results. Or, there will be a franchise like McDonald's, which already has a system that works and practically assures you success. But you have to make an investment to buy the franchise. And finally, a network marketing business better known as multi-level, in which the investment is very low and gives you the opportunity to generate residual income. The next quadrant is I, or investor. In this quadrant are the wealthy. They make money with money. They don't have to work because their money is working for them. This person gets resources to invest and then generates more money, such as buying an apartment building and leasing it out, or buys a ready-made system. This quadrant is the playground of the rich. In the I quadrant, money becomes wealth. What is true is that there is much more risk in this quadrant than in the others. But while for these people the word risk can be exciting, for the person in the E quadrant of employee, it can be downright scary. They generate passive income, because while they are on vacation, their investments continue to generate income. Here are people like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. As you can see, the right side of the quadrant is rated more for freedom and the left side for hard work. While Robert's poor father said work hard, the rich father said, why working hard for something that will never be yours and where you can be fired at any time? On the employee and self-employed side, linear income is generated. This means that if you work January and February, you will get paid just those 2 months. And if you get fired in March, your income drops to $0. And here, to earn more, you have to work harder and harder. And on the right side, and whether you are a business owner or an investor, you generate a residual income, which starts from -0 because you have to invest. But after a while, the money works for them and their income is exponential. In linear income, you exchange time for money. And on the right side, the money works for you. In the industrial age, the left side was the best way to generate income. In the information age, the best way is to generate income from the right side of the quadrant. Many people want to start their own business believing that they will switch to quadrant B, but what they are really doing is switching from being an employee to a self-employed person. Therefore, they don't own a business, but the business owns those people. Because if the business goes bankrupt, the person does too. On the right side of the quadrant is 95% of the money and 5% of the population. And on the left side is 5% of the money and 95% of the population. Therefore, employees and self-employed are distributing the small slice of the pie. Remember, it's not the money that makes you rich, it's the skills you acquire. The question here is, what do I want so I can be in the right quadrant? For example, you don't want to be rich by being an employee or a self-employed person. Have you ever seen a rich employee? Rare exceptions are. Unless they are also generating income from another quadrant. Anyone can move from one quadrant to another, but the important thing is to know where each one takes you. Finally, he recommends surrounding ourselves with mentors. We know that the fastest way to success is to train with someone who has already succeeded. But don't worry, if you don't have someone close to you to teach you, today you can be training online with different mentors, since most important international leaders have videos on the internet or books that can easily educate you and change your mentality. And you can also keep learning with videos like this one. To keep receiving videos and growing in your life, subscribe to this channel. Like it and share it to anyone who can help you, and see you next week. And remember, smart work is the key to success.